What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Appliance Educator. Today I have got a little fireplace set up for your tabletops. These are Danya B tabletop fireplaces. This one is more of a cylinder shape with a hurricane glass, and this one is, I'm not sure exactly what type they would call this, but just another style of tabletop fireplace. Today I'm going to show you the proper way to fill these and use these, and you got to make sure you're using the right fuel for these because it's very, very important, and it's also hard to find sometimes. So the fuel that you're going to use for these is ethanol. I did have a challenge. I didn't order the fuel online. If you go to Amazon, you can pretty much find it pretty easily, get it in your 2-day shipping. But I wanted to go to the store and just grab some, and that seemed awfully difficult. I went to Home Depot. They didn't have it. I went to a grocery store, a smoke shop, thinking, you know, this lighter fluid kind of thing, but wrong. Do not use lighter fluid. Only use ethanol in this stuff. Very important. Denatured alcohol is another version or name for that kind of stuff too. So, all right, let's first start by showing you the pieces that are involved with these tabletop fireplaces. So this cylinder right here, this is called a hurricane, I guess because it spins in a circle, flame, air, that kind of thing. Inside here is your tin with your fiberglass in it. And so this is what you'll fill up with your fuel. There is a little mark right here that says your max, and that line is also on the inside as well. So do not overfill this. That is not safe. And we like safety here. Safety first, then teamwork. Some little decorative rocks. I think they kind of shorted you on the rocks, but you also got to remember this is getting shipped to you. You're buying this online. You don't want to pay for shipping for a bunch of rocks. You can probably find that in your backyard and refill it and make it more if you want. Anyways, that is, oh, and this bad boy right here is to put your flame out and cut the oxygen off. Similar story with this guy here. This is your spanker. Just kidding, not a spanker. It could work as one maybe if you'd like. No kink shaming here on the channel either. Similar story, your fiberglass inside. You'll fill it up. Do not fill it up past that, the metaling here. Again, that's not safe to overfill it. Better to underfill than overfill. And according to the manuals for these guys, a full thing of fuel should last you 2 to 2.5 hours. So that's a pretty long time. That's a longer movie. So if you're lighting it for ambiance on a movie, let's probably fill it up, get it all the way up. All right, so let's go over filling, huh? So we'll start with this guy here, the hurricane version. We'll pull out our cup with our fiberglass inside. We'll take our fuel here. And we'll just start filling her up. Now, if you can find a smaller jug of this, I believe this is a 3.1 gallon. This will probably last you, God, I don't know, a year if you're using it often. This is a lot of fuel for a little burner like this, and I don't imagine you're going to light this every night. But, you know, if you do, more power to you, buy the gallon. But most people probably buy the 20-ounce container, and that probably works for them, and refill it as needed. All right, so we're going to take our fuel here, and we're going to not go over the max line. So just drop her in. And I didn't even go to the max line. I just went to the top of the fiberglass. We're going to set her in, make sure there's no spills anywhere. And just so I don't have a thing of fuel right next to me as well, I'm just going to fill up this guy since we're here. Now, when I noticed pulling this thing out of the box, the glass, it comes as one piece, and these little circles here, they actually have a nut on the back to keep it nice and tight, and it was very loose when it came out of the box. So make sure you tighten these up before you start the use of it. And since my measuring cup is thin enough to fit through here, I'm just going to drop it in this way. This one's a little harder to tell how full you're getting it. So, you know, on the precautionary side, use less. I got a little bit of spillage on there, so just make sure you wipe that up. So, I'm going to get my fuel sources out of here, out of the way. And I'm going to make sure I don't have any fuel on my hands. My long lighter. Use a long lighter. Don't use a match. Don't use a regular small lighter that your thumb's going to be right here. Use a long lighter. We don't want any accidents happening. So here we go. Just light it. And she's lit. And we'll put the Hurricane back on. And that's ready to party. Now, if you're trying to use this as a heat source, probably not a good option. Probably not going to keep you warm. Also, use these in a well-ventilated room, a bigger space. Don't just shove this in a closet and light it. Fumes are just going to stick around and there's no ventilation. So make sure you're well ventilated or in a good sized room. Let's go to flame number 2. And 3, 2, 1. That one's a little poofier. You can see a little bit. I mean, we're in a very lit studio for the cameras, so you probably can't see it that well, but if you're in a dark room and this is the ambiance that you're going for, it'll look great. Final note, putting this bad boy out. Ready? 3, 2, and done. For number 2, just gonna give it a light little spanking. Now she's out. Just like that, that's how you properly set up your tabletop fireplaces with ethanol fuel. There are different versions of these that use different kinds of fuels, and some have ceramic cotton, some have fiberglass. Just make sure that you read your manuals on depending on which ones you get so you're doing it correctly. And as a bonus, our friends at rustickkitchenandbath.com are giving these away. So go hit up their mailing lists, get on their website for more information, and score one of your Danya B tabletop fireplaces. If you like this video, you know what to do. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, look for our merch, check out the podcast, you know, yada, yada, yada. That's a self-promotion. We'll catch you next time here on Appliance Educator. Thank you for tuning in.